Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, iPhone, or MP3 player.
This is Superfly Jimmy Snuka, and you're watching the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Please come on down and check it out and have fun.
Wrestling Mayhem Show.com.
It's the best day of the week. Today is the day that you have chosen to listen to the Wrestling Mayhem Show. This is DJLunchbox, putting it the fuck down for you. Let's fucking do this. Monday night, you know it must be raw. Leaders being a whore and not wearing a bra. Seen his damn belt still spinning around his waist. I can ship at a rhymes on what comes out of his face. Tuesday night and it's EC Dub. Michael Q Knoxville join the club. If he's sick of the shit, scream out boo boo. This ain't EC Dub and we can tell that too. Wednesday night, ROH on DVD, the best wrestling on the planet to the nth degree. Joe Damon's delirious, Daniel City, Kim McCarthy, Homicide, the Rottweilers, and Kenta Kobashi. Thursday night, TNA on Spike. Bruce is booking, so that means I'm puking blood tonight. Shut up and show me the damn X division and get SoCal balance in my line of vision. Friday night SmackDown, this is all life. Kicking back, watching wrestling every night. Kenny, Boogeyman, Helms, Hardy, Guerrero, London, Kendrick, and the Stealing Show. RWF Scion in the weekly features. You're a student, we are the teachers. Shout outs to Jimbo's crew and to the D's, putting it down for Vimble with the greatest of ease.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Wrestling Mayhem Show 220. How you doing out there, guys? It is Sorgatron. Mad Mike is on the video feed. We finally got that kind of stuff working. We have the dynamic DJ Lunchbox is on the line with us via BlackBerry or something. How you doing, man?
I was stuck in Cranberry all day. I've decided to take pictures of my cock and balls and send them to the president.
There you go.
It's been a very eventful day, Sorgatron. Eventful day. I'm full of coffee and curiosity, and when the show comes down, I'm fucking walking across the street. I'm gonna fucking buy some pasta salad and General Tso's sauce. I'm gonna slather myself with the General Tso's and snort some tofu. It's gonna be fucking amazing. All right.
Somehow, I don't doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So,
Fucking you bet your twat it's going to happen, all right?
We have a hell of a show tonight. We got a great interview coming up with Bob and Pam Allen, the daughter and son-in-law of Gordon Soley, about the book coming out in PDF form. Golden Soley. Something
Golden
Left
Sorg.
Behind.
Sorg.
There you go. It's right in the show. This is the time when I screw up everybody's name. You can check that out, SolelySports.com. But please don't forget to check us out here and all this, if you've happened to unfortunately stumble upon this mess, at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Twitter us at Mayhem Show to see everything going on. You can, of course, call us
about stumbling on this show.
412-206.
Our show is like the discovery of penicillin.
WMS 0. Wow, it's complete pandemonium.
Mayhem Show ever before.
There you go. And of course,
feel free to drunk dial the Mayhem Show too.
Drunk dial the Mayhem Show at that number up there, 412-206-WMS0. Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Drunk email us. And of course, if you have trouble following the Mayhem Show when you're drunk, for $1.99, you can check out the Mayhem Show app and get all the stuff, and plus all the extra fun stuff that goes with the gold extras, including footage. Stuff from while we're setting up, while the technical difficulties are happening. And this week we had an interview that we recorded out in Philadelphia with some Joe Dabrowski, Bobby Shields, and Bobby Beverly, who all have been involved in one way or another with Ring of Honor lately. And yeah, fucking Ring of Honor, fucking right. But that will be previewed on the gold. You'll get it a week early, and we'll be playing that here on the Wrestling Mayhem Show 221 for the rest of you out there. So there's a little bit of advantage there, right there. And
also, if you buy the Mayhem Show app, it will help to cure WrestleFans lupus.
This may or may not be a truth.
It's not.
No, it actually is lupus this time.
I actually just finished watching the House finale before the show. That's part of why I'm having so many problems tonight. Anyways,
Damn it, Sorg.
There's fan mail.
Lupus, where's the
There is
shit I just downloaded?
mail.
There's mail from the fans. Here we go.
Now I'm drunk.
Pierre Kelly writes at goodtimes@wrestlingmayhemshow.com. I'm glad. He says, I'm glad Bret Hart became the new general manager of Raw, but what's more happy is that Batista quit under his own power in a wheelchair after last night's brutal I Quit match. John Lovitz was the worst host of Raw, which I've already discounted that for somebody else last night, I think. In my opinion, and there's nothing you can say about that. I just did. And we saw the debut of the Uso brothers with Superfly's related daughter.
She kind of looked like Snuka a little bit. I was concerned by that.
It's not the one I thought was his daughter, unless he has a couple of them in there. But the Usos...
Who knows? Maybe she'll be a cameraman soon and have to catch the Undertaker at a WrestleMania.
I think I have it in the Delicious, but the Usos are also relatives to Rikishi. So
they're his sons.
They are
so
his
they
sons.
did it for The Rock.
They are his sons, yes, sir.
One big family affair. I'm glad to see another kind of triple faction like that going on there. It feels like a tag division again. I like this. What a night it was. Another thing is that Drew McIntyre should stop whining about reverse decisions and give Kofi Kingston the IC championship. That man should get with Mr. McMahon and pretend he's not Goldberg. That's just it. That's just it. I gotta run, fans. Mr. Techwood Drive. Huh.
Who's Goldberg?
What's that?
Who's Goldberg? Who's Goldberg?
He's crying. What's...
Who's Goldberg?
I think Papa just got the elbow out.
Wow. Wow, this is going to be a hell of a show. All right. Well, we got some some voicemails this week.
Voicemail.
We got a lot of damn voicemails this week.
God damn you, bitch freaky.
Did you listen to all these?
No, I stopped after the 30th one. You kind of have
to, man. Yeah, I mean,
oh my God.
Well, I'm not going to play all of them, of course. Of course. Well, the last couple were just suggestions for people for us to interview. He brought up Eddie Kingston, some other guys from AIW, I think.
I'll bring up Eddie.
Sorg, you know what we need to do? We need to make a special show that's all big freaky voicemails done with auto-tune.
Done with auto-tune. That could be interesting. This is Big Freaky.
That's Big Freaky.
I got a message for Mad Mike. He's gonna think it's hilarious. You two of all people should be listening to these voicemails because he addresses Mad Mike and DJ Lunchbox the most out of all of them, and then acknowledges that I'm probably not going to edit the voicemails down for air after about the fifth one.
We're awesome.
It's our own little bit of entertainment, and we need some more people to compete with Big Freaky for airtime here.
I can't get drunk every night, Sorg.
You're on the show.
I'm drunk on the show. What?
What? WrestleFan, get drunk off cough syrup and leave messages.
Fuck yeah, fucking nightmares, bitches.
This feels like the good old days, except Lunchbox isn't half passed out on NyQuil on my couch.
That's right, I'm fucking tripping balls in my Arctic observatory. Ooh.
I still love the episodes where you could
I'm not a ghost.
watch Doc Remedy pass out on camera.
Are you sure you guys can hear each other? Because it doesn't sound like it. Anyways, guys, there was a point here. One thing he brought up, he had the some thoughts on some DVDs that he thinks WWE should release. Mad Mike, I think you can speak to this. He said about some more house show, non-televised DVDs collections, like maybe an MSG collection. I know I saw someone. I was watching your WWE On Demand up there, Mad Mike. What do you think about that as somebody that's growing up around the MSG?
Well, I know that a lot of times on Classics On Demand, they'll show shows from like the old Boston Garden or from MSG or things like that.
Cough button.
Cough button. Vomit button. But I think that kind of stuff, it's not really as exciting as you think it would be, because a lot of it was used for old primetime wrestlings.
Mm-hmm.
So they have different commentary teams on it, and sometimes they'd even put the commentary in afterwards. But I think that they're coming out with either some sort of like compilation or something like that, because I know they're going through a lot of the old footage and everything.
Well, the example he gave was like how they kind of went back and did the Hulk Hogan collection again, but with matches you didn't see all the time, like not WrestleMania matches, not the big feud enders, like stuff from Boston Garden, MSG, a lot of stuff that we maybe haven't seen as much of, that's in every collection, like a WrestleMania match with The Rock, So,
but at the same time, when they make these new DVDs, they have to keep in mind for the people that haven't picked up any DVDs before and have to see like the staple matches.
The match has to stand up on its own too. So, another one he had was a best of superstars. Since it had a run in the '80s, of course, and of course the current run, and there was some decent matches there. Along with that, and matches and promos, there was a lot of on there advertising the shows at the time, and we still see a lot of those on collections for specific wrestlers that came from those shows.
Well, there is still the rumor going around that they're looking to come out with their own network.
Of course, so they could play all those old shows. We could have a day. Your mornings consist of Superstars Wrestling Challenge and All American Wrestling, and whatever else ran. Oh god,
trust me, they have enough footage.
Yeah.
For years and years and years of programming.
They
just speaking from personal.
You know what? I appreciate that WWE has kind of became the Google of professional wrestling to a point. That they've become the ones that want to amass the collection of the history of the sport. Unfortunately, then you're concerned that they're going to control what the history was. But
of course they are. The victors write the history, sir. That's
exactly.
It's always been.
And
they are the victors.
They are the victors, and they kind of have they have a right to it. They own it now. They can do whatever they want with it. And you never know. And this stuff is going to be leaked out. Sans being put on a network. They're going to be leaked out to us on how many compilation DVDs over how many years. Where's my Ricky Steamboat compilation DVD? It could be coming down the line.
Actually,
there is a
supposed to come out in a few months.
DVD coming out later this year.
Wait, did you both just say the same thing?
No, I said Ricky the Dragon Steamboat's coming out soon.
Okay.
He said Jericho's coming out soon.
Fantastic. But yeah, I don't remember last time Jericho's had one.
I don't think Jericho's ever had one.
He has not.
Wow, that's a fucking travesty right there.
Well, you have to remember. I think they were in development for one before he took his little hiatus.
There you go. Also, he said a worst gimmicks of WWE, but he doesn't think they do it, but it could be like a segment on something like a Superstars DVD. And then he went in some rant about Jim Ross going off about Mantar.
Well, they had the WWE
Mantar was the shit.
They had WWE's funniest moments,
fat and didn't fit in his suit.
We're having trouble keeping LB on the leash here on the timing.
I think he's high.
He may be just disregarding the timing.
Drugs are for suckers, all right?
Okay.
Drugs, I know. Drugs are for suckers. Drugs, not drugs. And I'm sorry if I'm talking over people. I can really only hear things in verse.
Yeah, it's probably part of it, and the fact that I think you're Skyping on a BlackBerry, so.
No, I'm Skyping on a Droid.
Oh, a Droid. I'm sorry, I forgot you upgraded. That's right.
Droid.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we do have this. I do have a little clip of the Big Freaky rantings for this week. So let's go ahead and I think I plugged all that stuff back in and see if this works.
I mean, man, the one thing, like, my big hope is that somehow they find a way for Tyrone Evans to be on the show somehow, some way. Because Tyrone was just one of those guys. As soon as I saw him, like, I was a fan. And honestly, he is, I've tried to be positive, and not just dump on the indies. But come on, let's be honest. In Sorg, I'm sure you have so many horror stories to tell.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit on the indies. I mean, my God, the only show I actually just flat out regret going to, Tyrone Evans had a match with an indie guy. Most probably never heard of him, the Milwaukee Baller. That, I mean, my God, if that match weren't on the show, I would just feel like the biggest rube of all time for paying $15 for that show. And, I may have never gone to an indie show again, or maybe not never, but not for a while. And I'd be a hell of a lot more picky than I am now.
So some interesting thoughts about the indie situation there.
We should call him Big Picky.
Big Picky? Now, he went off a little bit about some other stuff too. He had some comments about AIW and everything. He is attending actually currently in Cleveland, I think, the SmackDown and NXT tapings. So I'm sure we're going to hear from him for next week. So prepare yourselves.
Oh, sweet Jesus. He's there right now, isn't he? He's probably going to go on a 30-minute tirade about how Daniel Bryan, ass raped Michael Cole on NXT.
I want to know if he read him a poem. That's all. I'm actually kind of amazed that I haven't seen any pop up yet. But seriously, Big Freaky, keep them coming. Yes, it was kind of shocking for me to get about 5 of them this morning to try to figure out what I'm doing at lunch. But that's fine. I'd rather have an abundance than nothing at all, for sure. It's all about the fan participation, and we want all you guys.
Speaking of an abundance, WrestleFan.
What?
What does WrestleFan have?
No, you're not in on that yet. But please call 412-206-WMS0 if you're drunk or sober or under some other influence. Who's making what noises?
Sorry.
What are you doing?
I was putting my pen back in my address book.
Okay.
So that way I can get more interviews scheduled and lined up and have fun chats.
She's working. It's fine.
The intern is working.
So on that note, I think that covers everything that we have as far as feedback. Let's go ahead to a musical break, and we'll be right back with our interview.
No, I know what we're playing, Sorg.
Okay.
We are playing Voodoo. The name of the song is Paranormal. The name of the band is Voodoo from the Paranormal. It is a promo album. It is a wonderful song, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Once again, Voodoo. The song is Paranormal, and this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
The Wrestling Mayhem Show recommends highspots.com for all of your wrestling needs. Whether you're a wrestling fan, worker, or promoter, looking for figures, DVDs, or equipment, Highspots has what you're looking for.
What's up, guys? It's DJLunchbox. And from time to time, I gotta run in the ring. I gotta run in the ring with a big steel chair in my hand, and I gotta bash and destroy my opponent and his opponent and the referee and anybody else who gets in my way. But from time to time, I don't want people to know it's me. So what do? I get a wrestling mask from highspots.com. There is no other provider in this or any other country who will provide the quality and assurance that you are looking for in your wrestling masks, tights, and memorabilia.
Click the link for Highspots on WrestlingMayhemShow.com to support the show when you want to purchase anything wrestling related. Highspots has what you're looking for.
Hey guys, it's Mad Mike here once again with your top 10 list of the week. This one's a good one considering what happened on Raw recently, and on NXT of course. It is the top 10 announcer feuds, at least in my opinion, of all time. Number 10, Jim Ross versus the World Wrestling Federation. Now, if you'll remember back in the late 90s, Scott Hall and Kevin Nash left for WCW, and Gorilla Monsoon had put a cease and desist order on JR from talking about Diesel and Razor. Now, what happened was, JR went out and he brought Diesel and Razor back to WWF television, only they were completely fake guys. Just a fun little angle and kind of one of the first shots in the Monday Night War. Number 9, Vince McMahon versus Bret the Hitman Hart. Now, a lot of people don't remember that Vince was a commentator when the Montreal Screwjob happened. So, this kind of kicked off the whole Mr. McMahon character, along with number 8, which is Stone Cold Steve Austin and Vince McMahon. They may have had one of the greatest feuds of all time, but that's when Vince was a wrestler. But it started when he was an announcer. Number 7, Bryan Danielson, or Daniel Bryan, whatever you want to call him, versus Michael Cole. I have a feeling this may jump up on the list depending on what happens in NXT tonight and what happens in the future, but it's pretty damn exciting so far, and I know it has the air in it in the book. Number 6, Joey Styles and World Wrestling Entertainment. It's no secret Joey Styles has had a long-standing grudge against WWE, even back in ECW, when, he used to badmouth the entire product. But it really came to a head when he was on Raw, and Joey Styles said, I can't call Backlash? Just such a great moment for the old ECW guy to kind of stay true to his roots. Number 5, Bobby the Brain Heenan and every single face in the 1980s in the World Wrestling Federation. You see, Bobby Heenan had the unique perspective in that he was a manager and an announcer at the same time. Watching a couple episodes of Primetime Wrestling, it's really kind of interesting to see the dynamic that Heenan's had with almost every big and small name that was a good guy in the 1980s. From Hulk Hogan to Ragged Ronnie Garvin. He really kind of interacted with every single one of them. And number 4, Larry Zbyszko and Scott Hall. In the infancy of the NWO, this was one of the major headlining feuds. Scott Hall would keep backing away from Larry Zbyszko all the time, and it led to a couple really interesting matches, including, I'm pretty sure, the Control of Monday Nitro. Larry Zbyszko was the one who saved Monday Night Nitro from becoming part of the NWO. Number 3, Jerry the King Lawler and Taz. Now, of course, they had a feud back in ECW along with Tommy Dreamer, where Lawler would call it extremely crappy wrestling. But when they brought back ECW One Night Stand in 2005, Jerry Lawler and Taz actually had a match to see who would commentate on the pay-per-view. And of course, it ended with Taz getting the choke out. Number 2, Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan. Now, this wasn't a wrestler versus announcer feud. This was 2 announcers who never actually had a match with each other, and never really, in the traditional sense, feuded, in that there was no physicality. But they had one of the best rivalries for almost 15 years in WWE. I mean, it was even President Gorilla Monsoon who eventually threw Bobby Heenan off of Raw, off of WWF television. And number 1, Jerry the King Lawler and Bret the Hitman Hart. Any feud, I don't care who it is, any feud that incorporates midgets, foot kissing, and abusing senior citizens, that's always going to get a win for me. So those are the 10 announcer feuds of all time, in my opinion, and just some of the things that have been swirling around in my brain.
This is Chef Flexor, and you're listening to the Wrestling Mayhem Show / the Chef Flexor Experience.
Sorg of the Wrestling Mayhem crew.
Let your instincts guide you.
At WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
What's up, guys? We're back. Wrestling Mayhem Show 220. And, of course, on the phone right now are Bob and Pam Allen, the husband and wife team that authored the book Gordon Solie, Something Left Behind, that's now available at soliesports.com. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great.
Absolutely. How are you?
Excellent. You know, of course, you got this book coming out, Gordon Solie, the Dean of Professional Wrestling. Actually, as we talked about, the book has already been out for a bit. So tell us about what's going on with this book and its release in PDF form.
Before Gordon passed away, we were sitting there one day, and he told us that he was going to leave all of his personal writings to Pam. Of course, she was flattered, and it took probably a year after he passed away, and finally when his estate was settled, we opened up the writings, and they were quite good as far as we were concerned. And with the new electronic market emerging in books, we decided to put it in a PDF file where people could download it to their computer, their desktop, or their laptop. Plus, it gave us the advantage of having a lot of colored photos. Because one of the things Gordon's kept, besides his writings, he kept rare photographs from his involvement with a group called the Thrillcade. He used to be an outdoor announcer. There's one chapter with stock car racing photos, and there's a ton of wrestling photos. And
black and white and color.
This way we could put, I think there's about 200 photos in there, and about 55 of them are in color now.
Mm-hmm. And now, we talked about before, this book has been released in previously in a hardcover form, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you mentioned the autobiography is also available?
No, the biography.
Oh, I'm sorry, biography, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pam and I got together and initially wrote most of the biography. Then we got with Scott Peel, who's a wrestling historian, and he was a big help. And we finished Gordon's biography in August of last year. Mm-hmm. That's the paperback that's also available on the website, which is called The Solie Chronicles, The Life and Times of Gordon Solie. So one is his writings in the PDF file. The other is our writings, which is his life story in the paperback.
Excellent. Well, there were, of course, I imagine, going through all these, was there anything that surprised you about his career that maybe you discovered in the process of putting these books together that maybe you didn't realize? Of course, Pam being his daughter and everything. Was there anything that you didn't know about his career that was kind of uncovered through this that really kind of amazed you?
I think one of the things that surprised me the most was the fact that I knew he was highly involved in racing.
Mm-hmm.
But in both books are stock car racing. Gordon was highly involved. He brought a NASCAR Grand National race to Tampa in 1962, which Richard Petty won the race. And they had, I think, 12 or 15 guys that were capable of winning that race. He started what was called the Governor's Cup race in Florida, and he announced it every year. It was a 200-lap race for the best late model drivers in the state. And we knew that he had been a technical advisor in racing movies because we were at the set of one of the movies, hanging out with the actors and the crew and everything. And we even went to the premiere in Tampa, and we went to the cast party. And the other thing, though, that I didn't know as much about was how good he was as an outdoor announcer with a throw cape. He traveled for 3 years around the country. In fact, they played for 70,000 people in the Los Angeles Coliseum. And when they were up in Canada, the largest indoor World's Fair, they outsold the Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey, for like 10 shows in a row.
Oh, wow.
Because they had guys doing feats on motorcycles with pickup trucks and cars, everything you can imagine. And Gordon wrote one of the stories in Something Left Behind he wrote about was when he announced a guy used to drive a pickup truck, and he would jump off a ramp 80 feet in the air over a live elephant who was standing there and then land on the other ramp. And Gordon was a great storyteller when he was on television for professional wrestling, as people know, but he was a good storyteller in this book because he was there. He wrote about stock car racing because he drove in amateur stock car races. He wrote about the thrill cave because he was there announcing. And, of course, he wrote about professional wrestling because the man called something like 25,000 matches.
Excellent. Now, of course, I was reading about the description of this book and everything, and I was amazed at some of the names that popped up. Of course, all the professional wrestling guys you'd imagine that we've all seen video. Whether it be, I know we got a lot of younger viewers, be it on the YouTube, on old DVDs or on even WWE 24/7 or something. But one name that popped up that surprised me was Bing Crosby.
He kept a letter from Bing Crosby because Gordon, when he first started out, he was at a radio station in Ybor City, part of Tampa there, and he got a very nice thank you letter from Bing Crosby for Gordon's participation in like a national,
like a fundraiser.
Yeah, they did TV shows and radio shows all over the country.
It was like the early telethons, like what Jerry Lewis does now, but it was on the radio.
And they brought in groups at the time that were popular and well known. Like today, if you turn on the radio and you heard there was going to be a special for American Idol on the radio, and there were going to be all these popular bands that you knew about, you'd probably turn it on in your car if you were driving and listen to it, or at home. And people did that in those days. In fact, a lot of people didn't have television sets because this was in like 1951, I think. And their source of entertainment at home was the radio.
That's where he learned his style of storytelling, is being raised in the family where there was not a television set, it was a radio. And he heard all the news, he heard sports, he had the old drama shows, the comedy shows that were on radio, and they painted a picture with their voices and their words, and if it was successful, you got the picture. And he took that and put it on with the wrestling and with the stock car racing and even in his own writings.
Awesome. So all these years, all the people that he's talked to, do we know who was his favorite wrestler to interview or call?
Some of his favorite matches, we know for sure. One of them was when Dory Funk Jr. and Jack Briscoe were packing arenas all over the country. Mm-hmm. They wrestled for an hour at a time for the main event. And to put it in perspective, how big it was, when they did one in the Bayfront Arena in St. Petersburg, Florida, the tickets for ringside seats cost more than the Super Bowl that year.
Oh, geez.
For sideline seats, and they cost more than it did for sideline tickets in the World Series. That's how big wrestling was when Gordon was announcing with Dak Briscoe and Dory Funk. Two of his other favorites were Danny Hodge, who was like a 3-time NCAA champion in Oklahoma, and Hiro Matsuda. When those two got in the ring, they were both technically great wrestlers, and he loved to call it. Later on, he admired guys like Steve Austin and Bret Hart, but early through his career, I'd have to say the Briscoe Funk matches and the Hodge and Matsuda matches.
Excellent. And of course, we put a little bit up there of him with Ric Flair. I know people have seen a little bit of that from some latest releases. Well, I guess is there anything else? Any other good stories you can share with us that
Well, a lot of people have brought up that so what about the stock car racing? We're more interested in the wrestling, and what they forget or not realize is that without the stock car racing, there would not have been the wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Gordon always had a good time too, and one of the things, like we've talked to wrestlers, over 100 of them, maybe 200 wrestlers that work with Gordon, at least, whether we've gone to wrestling reunions or we were at WrestleMania 24. We interviewed them on the phone, and they all say the same thing, that Gordon was the best. Number one, he knew more about his product than anybody else. But number two, he was a lot of fun. They'd be on the road till, all week long. They'd come in Friday night at 3 a.m, grab a few hours sleep, and they had to be at the studio in Florida or Georgia on Saturday mornings, and they weren't exactly with the program. Gordon would carry them through the interviews. If they got stuck, he'd pick them up. When new guys, Danny Miller was one. He was well known. His brother, Dr. Bill Miller, wrestled too. But his first time on Championship Wrestling from Florida, he was nervous. He's in the back with Eddie Graham and Jack Briscoe, and he's like, his knees are almost shaking. He goes out and sits down, and Gordon starts talking. He says, understand you have a brother, Dr. Bill Miller, who wrestles too. And, of course, Danny says, absolutely. And he says, well, we've had a couple of calls here at the studio from ladies in New York claiming that Dr. Bill Miller is the father of their children. Of course, Danny didn't know what to say. And Gordon starts laughing. He says, look, we're not rolling the tape, okay? I mean, another one, it's in the book, is some guy, and I can't remember who it was, manager used to do all the talking, and the wrestler at that time, his persona, he was kind of a dunce, and he'd sit back there eating bananas while his manager talked for him. Well, Gordon, when they got done with the take, Gordon said, that didn't come out right, we need to do it again. Well, this guy eats more bananas. Well, Gordon keeps doing this. Finally, this guy's turning green back there from eating all these bananas, and Gordon turns around and says, it's just a rib. We haven't even run the tape yet. Mm-hmm. And this guy's like sick on bananas, but he had a lot of fun. And the guys would do it to him. He'd stand there so long after they'd do the studio shows that they'd have to do promos for the different towns that the shows aired in. He might have to do 13 with Dusty Rhodes for the different markets. Well, his feet would get tired, so he'd take his shoes off, and he'd stand on this mat. Well, the guys got privy to this, so came out one day, and he's talking, and Nelson, he goes to move, and he can't move because his socks are stuck to the mat with super glue. And another time they put itching powder on there, and Gordon's up there. He's like just rubbing his feet. He's trying to do an interview because his feet are itching. And they had a lot of fun back and forth. Mike Graham, any of these guys that wrestle with him will tell you that Gordon made it fun. And he had the ability to take, you could take a jobber who never won a match in his life, and they put him up against Jack Briscoe, who was world champion at the time. And when they got done, the audience that was there and the people on TV, they would think that Jack Briscoe just won one of the toughest matches in his entire life, because Gordon was that good at selling wrestlers.
The other thing you have to remember is back when they started during the early territories, they weren't flying around the country; they were driving.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and going from the north part of Georgia down to Alabama. I mean, it was a long ride. I mean, these guys were tired, especially when they had wrestled the night before, and it wasn't a 4-minute match or a 5-minute match. I mean, these guys were going for a half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour.
And no matter who you talk to, I mean, we spoke with Ric Flair at WrestleMania 24, he'd come up and put his arms around Pam and gave her a hug and told her, "I love your dad." And he was another one that Gordon was, you mentioned some of Gordon's favorites. Ric Flair to Gordon was one of the greatest showmen ever. He said Ric Flair is the billboard. Dusty Rhodes, Gordon said Dusty has charisma. And he did. I've seen it. Dusty would stand there in the ring and he'd go, "These are my people." And they all stand up and cheer for him, So it's hard to imagine how many guys that are in the business. If you talk to Ricky Steamboat, he's got Gordon Solie stories. If you talk to Hulk Hogan, he's got Gordon Solie stories. And these guys, Stan Hansen, these guys are all pictured with him in Gordon Solie, Something Left Behind. In fact, the picture of Hogan and Gordon there is classic because he was called Sterling Golden then, and he had chest hair. It was almost in the shape of a heart. So I don't know how many people have seen that picture of Hogan with the chest hair in the shape of a heart, but it's a lot different than what you saw when he became famous with WWE.
So I remember the cowboy hat and the cape, but I don't remember the chest hair thing. But I was quite a bit younger then, so.
You'll have to check that out. But people that want to know how the business got to be like it is today, they can look through Gordon Solie, Something Left Behind, and see how it developed. And what we did in there was like one chapter is called Master of the Interview. It's just Gordon with guys on interviews. They might be on Championship Wrestling from Florida. Could be Georgia Championship Wrestling. There's pictures from Continental Championship Wrestling. Another one's called Headshots. Gordon liked to write about people's faces, what it told you, what the lines on their faces told, or their, about their life and about them. So that one is all headshots. It's just headshots of a lot of guys. And one of the famous ones in there is President Carter is putting a headlock on Mr. Wrestling 2. Gordon had the proofs from all those. So fortunately, he was a pack rat, and he kept a lot of classic stuff. But
awesome.
Like I said, one book is insightful about him because it's his writings, and the other book tells you his life story from day one until the day he died.
He was very prophetic in his writings, too. I mean, it's almost like, being written in the 70s, some of the stories in there, and you look today and you're going, whoa, that is like so happening right now. And he, very deep, a lot of them were very deep writings, very...
1 Week from Rome would describe a lot of the happenings that are going on in America today. And he wrote it, 35 years ago.
Awesome.
Very in-depth.
We do have one question from Jake Carrot in the chat room. He asked if either of you have any thoughts on the Solie Piper Morocco angle from back in the day.
That was classic. That was one of the greatest moments in professional wrestling history. Piper was the bad guy, the heel, the mouth. And when Morocco came in there and knocked Gordon down, it was one of the best turns in history because Roddy became like the new sheriff in town. He was a good guy, and he went around mopping up the place and beating the crap out of every bad guy around.
There is actually a side story on that. I was teaching at a middle school, sixth graders, and it must have been a couple of weeks into the school year, and a student came up to me and said that his uncle knew my dad. I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "Well, who's your uncle?" And he said, "Don Morocco." I said, "Oh, okay." I knew about the what had happened on stage, and I didn't know if this kid knew. He's only like 12 years old, and he came in the next day, and he goes, "Miss," he goes, "my uncle doesn't like your dad." I said, "Oh, okay." Didn't change us, but this kid, I mean, he took it very seriously. I mean, it just kept going. The feud lived on.
There was another time they were in St. Pete, I think at the Bayfront again, and Gordon was in the ring, which he was quite a few times, and he'd hopped out of the ring a couple hundred times with no problem. Well, he was in there interviewing Dusty Rhodes, and Morocco came charging in there in Florida into the ring, and Gordon had to get out in a hurry so he didn't get hurt. Well, when he jumped out of the ring, he hit somebody had spilled soda, and he went down hard, and he damaged his ankle. They wanted to operate on it then, and he passed. He thought, I'll be fine, and he limped for the rest of his life because of that.
Oh, jeez. Brought up interesting question there. You talked about your experience with Morocco there and everything. Growing up around it, was kayfabe a big thing? Like, how much were you let into that? Back in that age. Well,
first of all, he didn't use any of the words on his children, and never told us he was going to turn our faces into Crimson Mask or anything like that. No, he was a normal person at home. I mean, it wasn't. There was he didn't bring it home with him. You know, that was his job, and he was just dad.
And they changed when Pam came around too. When she went into the like the army with Gordon and the wrestlers around.
Oh yeah, these big tough guys. I mean, it's like, and then a little girl walks in and they're like, "Oh hi, how are you?" I mean, it's a different group, but they were always good people.
Excellent. Fantastic. Well, I don't want to keep you guys all night. It's been great talking to you guys. Of course, the PDF for the book is available on SollySports.com, as well as the biography. Is there anything else coming up in regards to Gordon Solie and his legacy you want to put out there?
We're probably next step will be to convert the PDF file so it makes the format for like Amazon, so people can download it on their Kindle readers, and then with Apple, so people can do that. So that's probably going to happen in a month or so.
And then we do have the Facebook fan page going, which is grows daily. I mean, it's fantastic. I mean, people put stories on there, they post pictures, we put videos on there, and it's been an awesome experience with the fans. I mean, it's just a very polite group of people, and they all miss those days. They like old school wrestling.
Wherever we go, people have Gordon Solie stories, they have Gordon Solie memories. And we weren't buying insurance, and the lady's crying. Gordon was like my second father. I didn't have one when I was raised, and every Saturday night I waited to see him at 6:05 on Saturday night on WTBS. And I didn't know, like, one of my son's friends didn't know that Ryan's grandfather was Gordon Solie. When he found out, he went crazy. He said, I grew up in Chicago, and I used to go shopping with Mom every Saturday afternoon. I'd load up with goodies so I could come home and watch Gordon Solie and the wrestlers on Saturday night. But hey, one of the most interesting facts to me about Gordon that people may or may not know is in 1976 or so, 77, somewhere around there, he had 5 million people a week watching him just on the Florida Championship Wrestling show, and that was a regional show. WWE got 4.4 million, I think, this last Monday night. Gordon had 5 million on one show. Plus, he was doing Georgia, and on the Georgia show by 1980 or 81. Between Saturday night and Sunday, they would run the Best of Championship Wrestling from Georgia. Between those two shows, 10 million people a week saw Gordon Solie, plus the Florida show. So at one time, I know he had 12 or 13 million people watching him every week. I find that absolutely amazing.
And the other part, too, is there were territories all over the United States, but the 3 gentlemen that really pushed their territory, and made wrestling in the Southeast the top-notch thing would be Cowboy Luttrell, Eddie Graham, and Gordon Solie. I mean, from that sprang everything else.
They were actually kind of invincible. You just didn't walk into Florida and put on a show. You almost needed permission from Championship Wrestling from Florida. They had the venues wrapped up, they had the TV stations, and it wasn't until Eddie was ill and getting out of the business that all of a sudden, here comes, Vince McMahon started to emerge, and Cowboy had died, Eddie died in 85, and Gordon couldn't continue it by himself.
They were a powerhouse together. All
those three together should be in the history annals of every wrestling book around.
Wow, fantastic. I talked to an announcer this past weekend, and he told me Jim Ross is number 2, Gordon Solie will always be number 1. We're all competing for number 3. So I think that's
when we were at WrestleMania, Jim was up there talking, and he said, look, Gordon Solie's number 1, and the rest of us yahoos are trying for number 2.
There you go. There you go. It must be working out. Well, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys. Everybody check it out. SollySports.com. And thank you very much for joining us on the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Thanks for having us on. It's been fun.
Bye-bye.
This is the Iron Sheik. You listen to the Mayhem Show. Iran, #1. Russia, #1. USA, top.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the one, the only.
It's the men of the Wrestling Mayhem Show at WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
I did not shoot Miss Elizabeth.
Oh, WrestleFans got the winner. Virgil's got a gun.
Oh, man.
Ted DiBiase better run. Oh, God. He's gonna grab the title.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed all those tunes. I hope you enjoyed that interview.
I am so happy that Virgil has a job again. That's great. That's great for him. I feel bad. He's so sad at the fucking comic conventions. He's like, please, somebody talk to me about wrestling.
And
I used to be on TV.
And there's DJ Lunchbox. He's still with us. Mad Mike is still with us. We're rolling here. Hope you guys.
That body fell out of the sky.
Hope you guys enjoyed that interview.
Hey, look, I might be tripping a little bit.
A little bit.
I won't start.
Virgil's got a gun.
Anyways, that's for the gold. Anyways, we got plenty of news to get through. Let's just roll with it. We're running short on time tonight, so.
Ken Anderson is an asshole.
There you go.
Ken Anderson, he's an asshole, and everybody loves him.
Okay, the big news from
I'm the musical company for the evening. Come on.
Yes, you are.
Oh, I got hit with a lamp. Yeah, figure that one out. And an asshole, like we were saying.
I was going to talk about Carlito, actually. The big news going around.
Carlito's a dick who likes drugs.
He was.
We have to be respectful. It is WrestleFans, brother.
That's right. But hey, a spot opened up for Tito Colon, also his brother.
Tito Colon.
But Carlito was let go for his first violation of the wellness policy, from what I understand. But he did refuse treatment for his violation, so he was immediately suspended. Now a story has come out thanks to ProWrestling.net, where his father claims that his son was released due to a painkiller abuse problem. I don't know that he talks like that.
I'm purely color commentary right now.
But so there you go. We've narrowed it down, so we have an idea what the problem was. So it's not. He says it's not something uncommon due to the pains that bring about the falls and blows, combined with the constant trips. How do they wrestle in Puerto Rico?
They might wrestle in the United States, Lord.
Oh, obviously.
In a ring.
So that was kind of the surprise. Like, it was a surprise, but not really. We kind of expected it, just for his really participation lately. You know.
Poor Carlito. I mean, they just put him back together with his brother, and they were gonna give him a run at the titles, and he fucking no. I like pain meds. No. Rehab is not cool.
Well,
and they said that over and over.
The interesting thing is on WWE.com, there's actually a comment from John Cena, who of course was was known for having a feud with Carlito when Carlito was first brought in over the U.S. title. It says, "What's that, Lunchbox?"
Stabbed him.
You stabbed him?
No, that was Jesus.
That was Jesus, I believe. Yes.
Jesus stabbed John Cena on Carlito's behalf.
That's right.
Fucking nitpicker.
That's right. He says, "I'm sad to hear the WWE has decided to release Carlito. I always thought he could and should have accomplished more than he did. I wish him the best." So that was a nice little knife turn for Carlito there. A lot of people thought that he's somebody that didn't really produce and he was just kind of there.
Ric Flair thought so.
Ric Flair thought so. That word had been going on for a while, and there's WWE pretty much, throwing that out there for everybody to see. So I mean, because when's the last time somebody's commented on somebody's release like that, especially for the wellness policy?
John Cena's Twitter account is by far one of the most interesting wrestler Twitter accounts out there.
What's his? Do you know his Twitter account offhand?
J Cena WWE, I think, or WWE J Cena. It's one of those.
Everything. I broke everything.
Hold on, I can check. But yeah, it's really kind of an interesting thing that he has on his Twitter feed because some of it is very kayfabe. Like, I'm working out my back because of Batista's new submission hold. It's WWE J Cena.
Yeah, I got it up here.
That's what she said.
HBK did retire, which isn't as angry as quitting. Interesting. Just Batista.
Yeah, because it's weird, because he will comment on storylines, but he'll almost comment on it in character.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, there's always that little twinge of a work shoot. You know? It's really an
He's
interesting
talking about, I don't know
follow.
Randy Orton's condition, so I really don't want to speak on his behalf. Just so you guys know, my mind's in the right place. Google Olympic weightlifting, and then you'll see what snatch is. Huh.
Yeah, because he said something like it's a snatch kind of day, which is a weightlifting term.
Oh, and
But
of course, people don't know that because how many wrestling fans are lifting weights? To be completely honest, look at everybody on this show.
Likes snatch.
Or it could
To
mean
be
that.
fair, how many wrestling fans have some snatch at the same time?
So good.
Hey, look, music from LB. Anyways, moving on. Candice Michelle is now a mom.
MILF.
There you go. She's an official MILF. Yeah, she's in league with the Dawn Marie and I think
WrestleFan's mother.
Yeah,
Set up Spike, Sorg. Thank you.
Yes, Sasquatch, we know you lift, and we'll probably whoop the ass on anybody in this room. WWE Studios really reveals details on its latest movie acquisition and Triple H's next film. Apparently it's called The Chaperone, which is written by somebody I don't know. It's described as a kids' action comedy about a just-released ex-con dad who unwittingly becomes a chaperone for his teen daughter's class trip to New Orleans. While he is on the run from his old cronies who are trying to kill him.
Wow.
Triple H, ladies and gentlemen.
I hope Xbox shows up.
Xbox.
You know, it'd be great if the entire Xbox and the New Age Outlaws showed up.
Oh, they're the old cronies. That'd be
tremendous.
Hey, you know, they need a paycheck. Why not? Oh, it isn't Aquaman. Says John.
And they refer to him as his mob name, Terra Rising.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, no!
You know it'd be brilliant.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, there you go. So I think that's a good sign of their PG angle going into the movies. Of course, that's going to be behind. You know, we had to get the Marine 2 out of the way.
You know what? Pretty odd.
H is
Pretty
the
odd.
Marine 2.
I would really like it if, or at least be very interested to see if I get hit by a car. Sorry.
What?
Oh, Jesus.
Nothing. I was thinking about this. WWE's doing all this PG stuff, PG. You know, kids always loved WWE, regardless of whether they were PG or not. In doing this PG stuff, they are alienating what is honestly their main audience, and that is the 18 to 35 demographic, right?
Yeah.
What are the odds that after Linda's political aspirations come crashing to a fiery vagina mess, we're going to see a little less PG?
That's been my thought for a while, and we were talking about last week. My other concern is, why are we concerned about PG on a show that is on well past what should be children's bedtime at the age group that they're aiming for?
West Coast, Sorg.
West Coast.
West Coast.
Fuck the West Coast. The West Coast doesn't count.
PM.
Oh, sorry, any listeners on the West Coast. You
It airs
count.
at 6
I
p.m.
count.
on the West Coast.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, but it seems that Linda's actually doing good. Her opponent has already dropped out of the primaries, so she's in the main race now.
Well, I think she's going to win.
And she has the financial resources, that's for sure. That was the comment from that was reading. I don't have it in the notes, but LB?
Yes, sir.
Oh, there it is. Apparently Doc Remedy.
I'm here. What's up?
No, it's cool. It's cool. I got a message and it scared the crap out of me. Discuss amongst yourselves while I figure this out.
I learned that Sorg's not a cuddler while we were away.
Yes, right. Doc Remedy, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing, Mayhem Show?
Oh, we could be doing better for time and technical, but everything we got. Look at this. Look at this gathering we have. We got Mad Mike, Doc Remedy, DJ Lunchbox. It's like the good old days.
Sorg, this is the 4 horsemen of mayhem.
Right there.
I have a heart on.
Yeah.
Awesome. I can feel it from here.
Symbol of excellence.
Yes. Winner.
All right, let's continue on with the news. All right, Doc Remedy, do you have anything to share while you're on here? Were you just joining us, or?
I'm just joining. What were you guys talking about? I'll add my 2 cents. 3 cents.
Excellent.
Nickel.
We were just tossing around. The Shelly Martinez is talking about going to WrestleLicious and being their new vampire character.
Oh, new Draculetta. Maybe Draculetta's sister.
Draculetta Dos. Or something.
I don't care as long as she's scantily clad.
It's a prerequisite on that show.
That's a lot of boobage to be showing off, so I'm all for it.
I gotta say, that might actually get me to watch WrestleLicious.
Yeah?
Dude, WrestleLicious is not horrible.
I'm told this.
It is not. I mean, if I'd skip the actual quote-unquote comedy segments, but the one match they have per week is actually not that bad.
So it's like watching the podcast a go-go in the long run if you hit fast forward.
Yeah, it's kind of like watching TNA. You look for the one match you want to see,
all right,
and you watch that.
I don't watch TNA. Who watches TNA?
I do.
I'm not the only one.
I do.
I watch it.
I watched it today, and I thought it was quite good this week.
Because you're an alcoholic.
Well,
that's not true. You're not
drunk, Sorg.
Okay.
Wait,
only drunk people watch TNA.
Oh, loves it.
WWE has a new Asian American wrestler signed called Su Yung. Yeah,
Su Yung? Wasn't she the one kidnapped in Rush Hour?
In Rush Hour?
I think I heard this joke one time.
And she rub you wrong time.
Okay.
Honey, this one's eating my popcorn.
This would have been a better story if I could put it on the video.
Seriously, wasn't Sue Young the little girl, the consul's daughter who was kidnapped in Rush Hour?
I don't know. It's Rush Hour.
You're thinking of Shanghai Noon.
No, it was Rush Hour. She was Sue Young. She was the consul's daughter. Chris Rock. I know what it is. Anyway, Asian wrestler, so Gail Kim has some competition.
There you go.
Gail Kim already had competition. Her name was Savannah.
That was no competition.
Savannah was not Asian. She was a Phasian. We all know that.
That's true.
Phasian.
You know,
somebody
that might
smacked her
explain
upside
why
the head
Gail
too
Kim
hard that her
wrestled
eyes
so hard
slanted.
last night.
Wow.
Oh,
in other news, TNA might have some talent roster cuts coming up. They finally determined
over 40.
They finally determined that they have way too many people on the roster for only 3 hours of television each week.
Goodbye, X Division.
They're totally going to cut, Kevin Nash and Scott Hall on it. Oh wait,
no.
That's silly talk. That's silly talk.
They're totally
Like I
going to
said,
cut, anyone under 23.
There you go.
Which is the X Division.
Now,
Blazing Red, no.
The one joke that came around is like it was something like how many guys are they gonna cut to get Batista's salary? There you go.
We should have a contest. Who gets into TNA first? Batista, Mickey James, or Shelton Benjamin?
I'm voting some Mickey James.
I vote with Mickey James.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna vote Batista, since he doesn't have I don't think he has the 90-day wait clause.
That's true. It's a not signing a new contract, so he could.
You know what? One very important thing.
Mm-hmm. Remedy.
That's the hurricane.
Remedy.
Well, no, he got signed. He is already signed.
He got signed.
Remedy.
Hurricane.
Saying something?
Hurricane got signed.
Who? The what?
Hurricane got signed to TNA.
Ooh. I think you're a liar.
Unless the internet lied to
making
me.
things up.
Anyways,
You're drinking that Vince Russo juice. It's making you crazy.
Oh, Vince Russo juice is bitter and mildly poisonous.
But no, seriously, talking about Batista, this is the first time I've ever said this, I think. I'm going to miss Batista.
I know.
Yeah.
It's been the most
Yeah,
entertaining 3 months of his career.
Heel Batista has been the best thing he's ever done since Deacon Batista. I laugh every time. I mean, it's probably not the point, but I laugh every time Batista's on the show now. Last night when he told Bret Hart asking him what his malfunction was, I laughed for a good solid 5 minutes.
It's a memorable way for him to go out, and yeah.
Batista was like Santino gone right.
Yeah.
He was heel Santino gone right.
We need to do like a retrospective of all the douchebag attire Batista wore during his heel run? Because, my God,
we have to go all the way back
splendiferous.
to his Evolution days when he had like the slick back hair and shit.
Evolution!
Well, no, I love how he wore the Canadian tuxedo. The denim jacket, no shirt underneath, and jeans.
Actually saw somebody wearing that a couple weeks ago. Just throwing it out there. The key to the mystery. Then again, I live in Southwest Hicktown, PA, so it's not a rare occasion.
You would have loved the faded jeans jackets I saw on a tag team at the ROH tapings. They'll be coming up for you guys.
Jeez.
Oh man, these outfits were. Though it was even better when I found out who their new manager is.
You guys would have loved an image a guy showed me last night at work.
Whoa.
Vince McMahon was wearing a Charlotte Hornet colored, which is like bright teal and purple tracksuit. And Bret Hart was dressed like an extra from the Peach Pit on 90210.
What the fuck?
With acid wash jeans.
You need to get your hands on this picture to post. That's fantastic.
It was absolutely phenomenal. I told the guy I wanted to make it my desktop.
Anyways,
So Sorg.
Yes.
What's new? What else is going on in the news?
What else
Anything
is
good?
going on in the
Anderson's
news?
an asshole.
Well, other than me having about 8 weeks of Ring of Honor orbs,
Anderson is an asshole.
You know what I charge you with? I charge you with an orb report.
An orb
8 weeks
report?
of ROH.
I will tell you this. I don't want to get too into it.
No. Make it a post on the Mayhem show.
Oh,
8
there you
weeks of
go.
orbs.
Well, this is what I'll tell you about my experience. Of course, as you guys know, I went to Ring of Honor. I did sit in the crowd the first night. I got to see most of the second night show on a monitor by the production truck. But from what I've seen, I don't know what the hell they're doing with that sound there, but the crowd was way hotter in person than it comes off on TV. And the show, other than being about 14 matches long in 4 hours, it was pretty good, even for squash matches all over the place, and moved at a good pace and everything. In about 7 or 8 weeks, you're going to want to watch at least one match on Ring of Honor. Although a lot of the build and a lot of stuff they're doing, I think, is really interesting. But there's a tag team tables match, I think, coming up with Cabana and El Generico against Carino and Kevin Steen, and you're going to want to watch that. That's going to be like one of the best TV matches you've seen in a while, probably. So there you go. That's Ring of Honor for you.
ROH.
But no, seriously, it was interesting to see how they do their stuff in person. For a $10 sitting in the bleachers seat is way better than the $20 nosebleeds for a Raw, and you got about 3 times as much wrestling. It was ridiculous.
Very nice.
So, yeah, it was quite the experience. And I don't know, well, I gotta throw up again. We have an interview coming up next week, like I mentioned before, but you'll get on the Gold Guys with Joe Dombrowski, Bobby Shields, and Bobby Beverly, who did some matches out there, some dark matches. Bobby Shields has been on the TV a few times already. But thank you everybody for your hospitality while we're out there doing our thing on another project. But it was really good. It was really good with that. Steve Carino was a really cool guy that we had a chance to talk to. And look for that. We had some really good stuff. Really good stuff for the project, and I hope to be able to talk to you guys about that soon as more stuff comes together. So, but Ring of Honor are doing a lot of good things. And you guys should check it out. So, back to the news.
Indie Minute.
That was your Indie Minute, pretty much. I mean, well, you know what? You guys were on Twitter with me Friday night, at least, when I was just kind of killing time out there. And I no longer hold them as an indie because they started a half an hour early with dark matches. No indie show starts even on time, let alone that.
It's funny because it's true.
It's true. It is so very true. And they start like a half an hour early with and your dark matches are like Shima Zion versus who's the one guy I said the one night? Andy Ridge, I think his name was. For a nice quick match, it was pretty damn good. He had a 6-man with Bobby Beverly, Bobby Dempsey, another guy that escapes me, against I know Aries was on the team, and a couple other guys that I wasn't quite familiar with yet. But it was a really good 6-man tag match. Like, I've never seen the dark matches get people actually pumped up, in for a TV
it's funny
taping.
because that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, did we really care so much when Mike Knox came out to wrestle somebody else we didn't know?
Yes.
And another thing, a requirement.
That was a bad example because it was Mike fucking Knox.
Yes, but we didn't know the greatness of Mike Knox at the time. Let's be honest. And they probably put him in there with like Charlie Haas. When you put him under Charlie Haas, so.
Of Hard Knocks.
And another thing, much like I think name tags should be required at any Twitter tweet up kind of event where you're meeting people or PodCamp or whatnot, I think your name should always be on the side of your tights if you're opening for a show like this. That's a word to the indie workers out there, because you really need it, because you can't hear the announcer worth shit in a place like that. You're trying to make it out as like Andy Gold, I found out I got half those names wrong when I was trying to tweet them that night. So, but on that note, back to the rest of the wrestling news. Randy Orton got hurt. Anybody catch
Ken
that?
Anderson.
Punching the ring.
From punching the ring, yes. Apparently
Those fist push-ups could be dangerous.
He's suffering from a separated shoulder. Thanks to his overzealousness trying to finish that match. It's a real downer, although the match overall I thought was really slow going into it. But
I heard rumors that he was injured the night before.
There's video up, and actually I think we do have it linked here. Maybe I didn't get that up. There's video floating around of a house show match from, I guess, the night before, or maybe 2 nights before, even. Where he was in a tag match and he was favoring the same shoulder. So it might have been tweaked from that, and that was just the final straw with that pay-per-view match. So, but he's in the Fatal 4-Way, so I guess it's nothing they don't think is going to get healed up by then.
And there's a certain person on Twitter who, right after the injury happened, who was a huge fucking asshole.
Yeah, Mr. Kennedy was on. Mr. Anderson. Anderson was on there. Don't sue us, Vince. What did he say again, Mad Mike?
I believe he said karma is a motherfucker, and A, he spelled karma wrong. 2, why
you spell karma wrong?
I guess he was watching Lost because he spelled it like Dharma.
Okay. Oh, he put an H in there. I see.
Yeah. But he definitely tweeted that it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. That was his second tweet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, listen, just because a dude's a fucking asshole, you don't have to celebrate when they get hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
Because,
unless there was more.
If you're saying karma is a motherfucker, you being happy for someone else getting injured means, guess what, motherfucker?
Well,
Karma's gonna motherfuck you right back.
Definitely. In other news, apparently WWE is shopping NXT around. So that leads. I guess these are reports been going around. There's still a chance they could stay on Sci-Fi, but the rapid fire elimination on last week's show seemed to indicate they are in a hurry to finish the first season off. So yeah, it seems to be dwindling pretty quick there after nothing happening for how long.
It's kind of a good thing they got rid of Michael Tarver.
Mm-hmm.
Considering what happened with Carlito.
Go ahead, Remedy.
I heard that there's an interesting channel that they're looking to shop it to. I heard it could end up on Bravo.
Yeah, that's been a word going around. I think we mentioned it here a couple of times, but yeah. So people, you may not realize you have Bravo, but you may have a reason to soon. Like many didn't know they had the Sci-Fi channel, I'm sure. But many more.
I hope they put it on Lifetime.
On Lifetime? No, Shimmer has to go on like Oxygen or something, and that, yeah.
But I think honestly, with a couple of tweaks to NXT, this could be a really well-rounded show, because you see, once the eliminations start, the past couple weeks of the show has been way more interesting.
Everybody is way better after they've gotten eliminated. I haven't given a shit.
Yeah.
Like even the guys that are still in there, I still don't give a shit about. It's like they're the losers. Everybody else won for getting eliminated.
I still like Wade Barrett a lot.
But
another interesting thing.
Go ahead.
Is another interesting thing I heard is they might phase out NXT, because I had a rumor that they're looking to revitalize Tough Enough, so they might blend a Tough Enough / NXT type show.
That could be interesting.
See where that goes from there.
It sounds like they're looking more and more to maybe use that FCW property down there. That could be they could actually do Tough Enough there instead of at the old Trax facility where they used to do it. And it's not like they don't already have all the production stuff there for their weekly TV show. So why not? It'd be very cost effective for them to do it, and it's all in one place. And that's a bunch of guys they don't have to travel all over the place for a show if they don't have to.
But I think if you're gonna do something like that, you almost have to have them travel to the shows, regardless, just to keep them fresh in people's heads.
That's true. Well, it depends on it depends on the format. Depends on the format. But in other news, did everybody hear about the Macho Man?
He got married?
He got married.
He had his theme song played again.
There is...
Oh, no, wait, that's graduation.
There is a picture on machoman.com of the lucky couple. And
Mrs. Claus.
Yes, Mrs. Claus has been revealed.
To be fair.
Dude looks so old.
What was that, Mad Mike?
It's the lucky woman. I mean, come on, it's the Macho Man.
That is true. And she's not bad looking from what I'm seeing here. So
I wonder if when he proposed, she actually said, "Oh yeah."
I would hope so.
Oh, I hope not.
Oh, apparently next week is NXT's season finale, says WrestleFan. Of course, we're running a little late. NXT is actually on right now, so there you go.
Oh, WrestleFan's high. Don't listen to him.
That
Yes,
is
and
also
Michael Tarver
true.
looks upset in African American.
He also may be excited because Mickie James has had talks with Dixie Carter.
Of course she has.
Yeah, Dixie was at Mickie James's CD release party.
There you go. That would be They're like, we don't mind if you do stuff outside of wrestling here in our neck of the woods. Apparently WWE does.
I think WWE was regretting firing Mickie James as soon as Beth Phoenix got injured.
Well, that's been the discussion too, is it seems that WWE, if you have an outside project that they don't have any control over, like if they released the album like they did John Cena, I think it would have been a different story. But because they were going and they didn't want control under WWE and everything, it's kind of become more of an issue with them. So, I mean, look, it's a company, it's a big corporation. Of course they're going to be control freaks. You know, these people are there, you know, to put it one way, the Virgil way, is their property. And they want to have control over it and make sure that you know, their message and nobody's doing anything that's, you know, say not PG or whatever in the company interest. So
Bubble Heat approved.
Let's see. Bubba the Love Sponge, we don't care. Carlito release, we talked about that. Are you ready for Half Pint Brawlers?
Oh man.
So am I.
Oh man, let's see if I can pull this up on the video. Give me a second here, Mad Mike. But have you guys seen this preview yet? I've actually seen it make the rounds on TNA.
I was watching Star Wars all weekend, and this preview came on like 18 times.
I forget what I was. Let's see if I can get it up here. Yeah, so midget wrestling. I don't know if you guys also saw my tweet for Dangerous Women of Wrestling, where the banner was Hot Women Wrestling and Midgets. I'm staring at the guy. I was like, that's a fucking trifecta right there.
And you still never answered my question, Sorg.
What's that?
I asked if all three of those were combined into one person. Because if that is the case, that is the person I will marry.
There was a discussion that they should have booked Zach Allen on that show.
They should have they should have fucking booked that crazy midget stripper bitch that was in Pittsburgh a while back. Remember that shit?
What?
Yeah, you remember that shit.
I don't
crazy
remember that
midget
shit.
stripper?
No. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we never got down there. That's a damn shame right
Midget
there.
stripper, man, for real.
Sassy Cassie.
We should have got an interview with her for the
That's
show.
it.
I don't
Sassy
care if
fucking Cassie.
I don't care if she's not a wrestler. We should have interviewed her for the show.
Riz gets 5 Mad Mike points for remembering Sassy Cassie's name.
Sassy Cassie.
Yeah. Lowest snatch in the stripping business, right
And
there.
then, of course, the 14-year-old asked, oh, God.
Spike, the biggest new thing on television, is 4 feet tall.
What's happening?
It's just a word. I'm going to impress all the brawlers by doing everything they tell me to do.
Beautiful Bobby King!
You're a selfish
Wow.
little prick because you're 3'8".
There's one named
Prepare
Kato.
to see the art of wrestling
Mad
taken
Max
to
with
new
2 X's.
heights. Say hello to our little friends. Half Pint Brawlers premieres Wednesday, June 2nd at 11 on Spike.
I know what I'm doing June 2nd.
Oh,
I know what I'm doing June
my
2nd.
God.
I think we should have a live episode of the Mayhem Show while Half Pint Brawlers is on.
Wow, I think we're covering that weekly on the Mayhem Show.
That is
We need
fucking
somebody
amazing.
designated.
I just came. Wow.
DJ Lunchbox, I think you need to submit the Half Pint Brawlers report for the week, much like we do the Indie Minute. You will be the
Sorg,
I'm the
we're going
midget
to make
news
the whole
man,
roundtable
yeah.
discussion about Half Pint Brawlers.
Wow.
Yeah, Tio
Say
is
hello
back.
to our little friends.
Richard the Midget.
I don't know if that's funny because I'm tired, but wow.
Wow. You know what? That yeah, there's nothing we have that'll top that. So on that,
That is
note,
the shit.
You know what my new wish is, Sorg?
what's that, sir?
I want Wrestleists by Half Pint Brawlers. And I want a
Bitches and
cross-promotional feud.
bitches. It's like a fucking Kid Rock
Cross-promotional
stage
feud.
show.
That's something to be combined. I think the Wrestling Mayhem show needs to get more Oh, what? Wait, that's what we forgot. Whoa, we're losing your audio there, Mad Mike.
Someone's ripping their shirt off.
What?
Sorry about that.
A little late, but
My
I don't have DJ Lunchbox. Do you have an Audible pick for this week?
I do, as a matter of fact.
Fantastic.
It's a great book. I'm sorry I don't have the official Audible copy in front of me, but I guess we can slide that in.
That's fine. You can go to audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media, where you're entitled to one free book for signing up for a free trial of 14 days. And you can pick any book out of their entire library. That's, of course, that is 1 credit. Some of them, of course, the longer ones are 2 credits. But for the most part, I haven't seen them yet.
Those ones are fucking long.
Those ones you're going to take a year to listen to them anyways.
Harry Potter books.
But something that you probably can pick up in the meantime is what, DJ Lunchbox?
You absolutely can pick it up. There's only 1 credit is by the awesome author Nick Hornby. He wrote High Fidelity and About a Boy, both which were made in major motion pictures. And this book is absolutely excellent. It's called Long Way Down, and it's a book about suicide, but not in the way you think. 4 random strangers meet on top of a building on New Year's Eve to commit suicide. And basically they talk themselves out of it. Or do they? Long Way Down by Nick Hornby. Go and check it out, audible.com. It is a great book. You'll enjoy it. I enjoyed it. And that is Wrestling Mayhem Show's audible.com pick for this week.
There you go. Thank you, DJ Lunchbox. Sorry we didn't get that in a little earlier. Of course, a little bit mixed up with the format and everything. But it's all good. We got it in there. Please go there, support the Mayhem Show, so we can buy our own Midget Wrestling Federation and prop up this show on their little backs.
I have so many dirty jokes in my head, but we're talking about our sponsors right now.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I muted there, Mad Mike. Some crazy stuff was happening on your computer. If you were trying to talk there. But hey, you're the first candidate. What did you learn from wrestling this week?
God damn it. I learned that you don't think I'm cultured, Sorg.
What?
You don't ask me about books.
What?
I read, damn it. I read and listen.
No. Well, I know DJ Lunchbox is my go-to guy because he has been listening a lot longer than I have. So I know he has a pretty good personal library. Cough button. I can't believe we have 2 people Skyped in from Droid phones right now. That's pretty fantastic.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
No, apparently not. But nobody got went robotic on us on Skype either. So take note of that. So what'd you learn from wrestling this week, Mad Mike?
God damn it. What did I learn? I learned that we have African-American mid-card champions.
What?
We have African-American mid-card champions.
Kofi
Kingston and R-Truth.
Wow, you're right.
Look at that. Affirmative action, motherfuckers.
Affirmative action works in WWE. Congratulations.
And if fucking David Otunga wins NXT, boom, right there.
Otunga.
Boom goes Black Dynamite.
DJ Lunchbox, what'd you learn from wrestling this week, you drunk bastard?
Otunga. What did I learn from wrestling this week, Sorgatron? What did I learn?
What'd you learn?
From wrestling this week, Sorgatron. What did I learn? I learned that Bret Hart has a major malfunction.
That's right.
And the only cure is more cowbell. That's what I learned. What did you learn? Sorgatron. What did you learn?
Wait. What about Doc Remedy?
God damn it. Wait.
Doc Remedy, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
Oh, where's Doc Remedy? Doc Remedy, I did learn from wrestling this week.
Is he still there?
Or he's not there.
It says he's still there.
Doc Remedy.
I think Remedy fell asleep.
Oh.
It's just like old times.
Our intern fell asleep during the show. I don't know if you guys noticed. Oh.
It did sound less sexy in there.
Entrance where they can't
Okay, he dropped off a while ago, apparently. I learned...
Sasquatch learned that he needs to call the Mayhem Show tomorrow and leave a message while him and a couple friends clean out a locker full of 400 packages of Pop-Tarts.
Whoa! Wow.
Dude, if you have 400 packages of Pop-Tarts anywhere, you're kind of doing it wrong.
You need to take those Pop-Tarts and build a little Pop-Tart village.
Ooh.
And take photos and submit it to every website in the world. Don't look at me like that. You're holding a baby, so you can't give me the finger.
Oh.
Oh, no! Oh, no. The baby gave me the finger.
Oh, poor Carlos.
Oh. Anyway, sorry I interrupted you. I learned that Santino is funnier than John Lovitz, and that's sad. And at least I know Virgil can sell something now.
Oh, and Sorg, I learned one other thing. We're going to have the greatest guest host of all time in a few weeks.
Ashton Kutcher?
No,
Justin
that's
Bieber?
Next week. And it's not Pat Sajak, even though he's very close.
The Spice Girls?
No, that would be awesome, though.
Justin Bieber, clap, 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 clap.
No, fuck Justin Bieber in his 15-year-old asshole.
Huh.
But I'm speaking, of course,
Justin Bieber.
of Rampage Jackson.
Yes! Pity the fool! They need to bring Mr. T on that shit, too.
No, I hope this is a precursor for UFC and WWE working together.
Doubt it.
And right before, I doubt it too, but
million
hear me out, Sorg. God damn it. Let me finish. I hope this is a precursor to Dana White in a promotion for a big fight coming up. He says, hey, you know what, Vince? I have another guest host for you. The UFC heavyweight champion, Brock Lesnar.
Never will happen,
I can't imagine that. I would be shocked. I would probably pee
Dana
myself
White
a little.
Is too much like Vince McMahon for that to happen.
Yeah.
But he's letting Rampage on there. Rampage has a fight this Saturday.
Yeah, but Rampage is promoting a movie.
Yeah, and that's and I believe it's an NBC property.
And
so
Rampage already said, he already proved he will leave the company if they won't let him do what he wants to do. He left the company over this movie, so...
Mm-hmm. Well, on that note, guys, thank you everybody live that's been sticking with us through our issues this evening. I want to thank definitely Bob and Pam Allen, the writers of the Gordon Solie books. Go check them out, soliesports.com, of course, and check out all of that stuff. And like I said, it looks like the book might be on Amazon and the iBook store in the near future. So looking forward to that. Of course, please check us out, audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media to support the show. Check out your free books. Please check out the Mayhem Wear. Please check out the iPhone app. Booyah! And give us a call with any comments or questions to 412-206-WMS0. That is the Mayhem hotline. Call it any time. You won't be waking anybody up. It's straight to voicemail. Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com, of course. And well, there's the Audible link right there for you guys on the video. And of course, as always, check out what's coming up these days at... That doesn't work at all. No, it doesn't. There we go. WrestlingMayhemShow.com, Twitter at Mayhem Show. All the questions, all the answers, all the movie trailers for zombie films. Thanks to DJ Lunchbox.
The review of Over the Limit.
I forgot about that. You guys didn't. You were like, what zombie film? What? So.
Yeah, we talked about it last week. We talked about it last week a little bit. Did you see Gail Kim's film coming up?
No.
We talked about last week. Go into your delicious notes, sir, and check that out. When you get a chance when you're on good enough internet for a trailer, of course. I want to thank the DJ Lunchbox. Thanks for pulling through and getting a hold of us droid wise. Thanks for Doc Remedy for joining us. Surprise. At least for a little bit before he got hung up on, apparently. We're figuring this technology thing out. We're trying to make the show better for all you guys out there.
Don't thank me or anything, Sorg. I've just been here the whole time.
Oh, you know, hey, then there's Mad Mike. He's just there hanging out, man. What's up, Mad Mike? Hey, man. It's been a long fucking night, and I have one more show to do. So, next week there might be a third, actually.
3 shows, triple the show, triple the card.
All I can say is tune into this feed over on the Ustream about 7 p.m. next week. If all goes well, there will be something awesome.
And you heard it, kids. That will be
there
a
will be
live
something
sex
awesome.
celebration.
No, that's not it. No.
Fuck yeah, live sex
Rob
celebration.
is not as sexy as
Rock
Lita.
and
I'm
roll.
sorry, I
get
can't
to
give
see
that to
Sorg's
him.
cock again.
Popeye will be
Wrestling Mayhem Show
crawling out of
220,
anus.
keeping it classy still. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to the Wrestling Mayhem Show.
Please subscribe to our iTunes streams and blog at WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
Email us at goodtimes@WrestlingMayhemShow.com or call us with any comments at 412-206-WMS0. We love to hear from our fans, and who knows, maybe you'll make it onto the show.
The Wrestling Mayhem Show was recorded live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, in front of a live internet audience, and is a production of Sorgatron Media.
You can be part of the show as we record live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on TalkShoe.com and Ustream.tv.